In this video, you'll become familiar with how to use some of the common methods that come with the text input component. The first method you'll observe is the onFocus method, and I'll start by adding it to my existing text input component. This property is a callback method that is called when the text input is focused. The feedback form has input boxes for first name, last name, and a message, and I want an alert to be displayed when the first name box is in focus. In order to demonstrate this, I'll import a new component that you haven't encountered before, which is the alert component. You don't need to understand this component at this point, as I'm just using it to illustrate a use case for onFocus. So in the text input component for first name, I'll pass a function to onFocus that will display an alert on screen anytime the first name box is in focus. To do this, I'll use the alert method that comes from the alert API and set the message first name is focused to be displayed. Next, let's open the app in the emulator to verify what this method does. Sure enough, when I click on the first name box, a message pops up with the text first name is focused. So the onFocus method in text input was called automatically when I clicked the box, and I can now click on OK to dismiss the alert and continue typing into the input box. The next method from the text input component that you'll become familiar with is the onBlur method. This is also a callback, and it's called when the text input is blurred. What this means is that once the focus is taken away from a text input field, the onBlur method is automatically called. As I did with onFocus, let's use onBlur in the text input for first name to call an alert. This time, the alert will appear when the first name text box is blurred. So I'll use the alert API and set the message as first name is now blurred. Again, let's check the updates in the emulator. I'll click on the first name box to trigger the onFocus message and then dismiss it. Then I'll type some text into the box and press the return key in the keyboard, which then causes the message first name is blurred to pop up. This occurs because the first name box is no longer in focus, causing the onBlur method to be called. So now you've observed a couple of examples showing how the onFocus and onBlur methods work. Now let's explore a few other useful features of the text input component. At some point, you've probably typed some text into an input box incorrectly. You want to click on one button to clear it all out. But right now, you'd have to hit backspace multiple times to clear things out. Wouldn't it be nice to have a clear button that could get rid of everything in one go? You'll probably be glad to know that React Native supports such a feature. The text input component has a prop called Clear Button Mode. This prop is an enum and determines when the clear button should appear on the right side of the text box. Recall that enums or enumerations are a data type with a fixed set of values. In this case, those values are never, while editing, unless editing, and always. For this example, I'll add Clear Button Mode for first name, declare always so that the clear button is always present. I'll then copy this line and paste it to the text input for the last name and message boxes to achieve the same effect. Keep in mind that the Clear Button Mode is only available on iOS, and the default value for this is never. To add the same feature for Android, you will need to write your own implementation or use a library that provides this functionality. Another small quirk to note is that the Clear Button Mode does not work if you have a multi-line text input. Because the message box has multi-line set to true, I'll change it to false, so that Clear Button Mode will work correctly and display the clear button. It's time to check the app in the emulator again. This time I'll click on the last name box and type some text before pressing the return key. A small button with an X then appears on the right side of the last name. I didn't even have to design the button or design the clicks. I got it simply by using a built-in prop. When I click on the button, it disappears. The text is cleared and the keyboard pops back up so that I can type something else. If I click on the message box and type some text there, the clear button will appear there as well. Notice this time that the button is vertically centered in the box, due to the styling that was applied. Let's finish off by typing something in the first name box, and sure enough, I get the clear button there as well. In this video, you learned how to use the onFocus method to trigger a response to a text input box being focused, use the onBlur method to trigger a response to a text input box being blurred, and use the clear button mode method to configure a button for clearing a text input box. You're now ready to create forms in React Native that offer a more intuitive text input experience for users. Well done.